Hello and welcome to another edition of the Community Forum Show. My name is Roy Cohen and I am the host of the show. Our guest today is Janiece Bruce. She's a lifelong resident of Stoughton, has been working for the town of Stoughton for 34 years. She's a registered nurse and recently retired from her full-time director's position with the Stoughton Public Health and Visiting Nurses. She is continuing her human services role, working as the Council on Aging Director part-time. Janiece, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Roy.
It's my
nice
pleasure.
To be here.
Okay, let's get started. I have some questions I wanted to get some answers to. First of all, let's talk about the Council on Aging. Where is it located and what are the hours of operation?
Okay, so the Council on Aging building, or the Senior Center, is located at 110 Rockland Street. It's kind of tucked back off the road. So if you go down Rockland Street, which is off of Lincoln Street, you will see it as you come down the Rockland Street, down on the left at the end.
How old is that building? I've seen it quite a bit lately.
Oh God, I something I really don't know. I think at least 25. I think.
Well, it's well cared for. I'm impressed with both the staff and the cleanliness of the building. It shows some good guidance on the part of the leaders and the workers there.
Yeah, it's very well cared for, and we are looking to do some just upgrades to the building as far as kind of giving a little facelift. This year we just did our library project with some grant funding that we had. We kind of updated it, and right now our custodian John is doing some painting projects, trying to just spruce it up a little bit. So we're always trying to make it look nice, and we have the beautiful garden out back. Community garden, which is really nice, which I don't know if enough people know it's there, but it's a really beautiful place to go outside with benches and stuff to sit.
When you say it's a community garden, you're talking that their public is invited to do some planting?
Yeah, so any seniors that want to plant, we have special raised boxes. People can sign up to have a raised box, or we have some on the ground too, but people can participate and grow. We've had vegetable gardens out there. This year we did flowers. We were having a little problem with some little varmints this year, so we just concentrated on flowers. But it's just a peaceful place to go, and it's nice for people that want a garden and don't have even if they have a garden in their yard and want to do some more gardening, it's available.
You say you have some problems with little varmints.
We did this year.
Well, I wonder if it's similar to what I'm having for problems here at our house. We got some groundhogs.
Yeah, we found some holes burrowed, and we just suspected that. And I don't like to talk about like what kind of varmints, because some people get grossed out by knowing it was more than a groundhog. I think we had some little neighborhood rat that was coming over to help himself to some food.
Two-legged ones?
Yeah.
No, they got to stop. Or invite them in and give them a little plot to work on themselves.
Yeah. Board of Health has been trying to work with us on that. So, yeah.
I'm sure they'll be successful. What are the biggest misconceptions about the Council on Aging and Senior Center?
Well, I think whenever I talk about the Council on Aging, and probably even before I got involved over here, even just myself knowing about it, people think that it's really for like frail elder people. I think they feel like, oh, I don't want to go over there. It's just for old people. And this is people that are already seniors saying that. So I think people think it's just kind of a quiet little place that is just for people that may be having, need to get out of their house, and this is the only place they can go. But that's not true. We have a lot of events. We really want to have all kinds of seniors here. We try to have people that we try to find activities that both mentally stimulating physical activities, recreational activities, things just to increase a senior's knowledge on things that might interest them, even as far as where they are in their particular point in life, like programs from like the sheriff's office or educational programs. So I think it's really for any senior that's 60 years and older, and anybody that's disabled under 60 can also access some of our services.
How does a person sign up to take part?
So if people come here, they can come visit, see what it's all about. We have newsletters that go out online. They're posted on the COA website, the town's website. But if you come in and you think that's a place that you'd routinely like to come visit, we just sign you up. We just take your information. You get sort of a card. So when you come in, you scan it. And what that does, it's called My Senior Center. It records how many seniors are coming into the building. Are they coming in for a program? Are they coming for bingo? Are they here for a fitness class? It just kind of keeps track of what everybody is doing. And the numbers actually get sent at the end of the year. We work under some grant funding through the state, along with town budget. But it records really how viable a building this is and how many seniors are actually wanting to participate. And all that data really goes to help us support the program. So every year at the end of the year, the Executive Office of Elder Affairs asks for a report. And we take all the numbers and we send them off. So it's really good to, scan every time you come in so that it records the activity.
Yeah, that's pretty simple to do, scanning it in. And when you finish scanning, it says, welcome, so-and-so, have a good time and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I've recently started using the facilities there, taking advantage of the Scrabble game on Wednesdays.
How do you like it, Roy?
Not doing too well. But my most recent visit there was three games and 3 losses. So I'm like the Red Sox, like the Patriots.
I like the Patriots.
The win-loss is, excuse me, the win-loss is showing more on the loss side. You talk about things to do there. One thing that's very impressive is the newsletter that you put out. Somebody puts an awful lot of work into that.
Yes, Carolyn Turner has been working here. Oh, I don't know. She's been here a very long time. She does a remarkable job. She is in charge of all the activities. She lines up all the vendors, the people that do the programs, the any of like the exercise people that come in and instruct classes, the dinners, any of the celebratory things. Carolyn Turner, along with some volunteer help, puts everything together, and she works on this newsletter and gets it ready for the next month. So it's out prior to the next month so that people can plan what they are interested in doing and signing up for.
I'm just looking at the newsletter and I see a bunch of things. Maybe you can talk about them as I mention them. The quilters craft sale and quilt.
Oh, yeah. That's going on right now, actually. I just went, Roy, and spent over $50 at the quilt and craft sale.
Well, that's good. That's nice of you.
I got some nice holiday things. I said, I'm going to start my shopping early. So I did that. So that's going on today. And then
you got edible gift ideas from with Therapy Gardens.
Yep. And I just want to say about those craft ladies that are very dedicated. They're here every Thursday working on their quilting. So if anybody is interested in getting out there or learning a little bit about quilting, they would love to have anybody that wants to come and join their group. And if anybody out there is a knitter, I would love to see if anybody wants to teach it, because I've had a few people asking about knitting classes, and we don't really have like an instructor for that. So that might be something that people might want to pay attention to.
I'm having a flashback to when I was much younger, when I tried to learn to knit.
You did?
Yeah,
Good for you.
it didn't last that long. But anyways, okay, let's get on. You got Create with Karen.
Yep. So
Create,
this is,
Create is like Cars for Kids. It's with a K.
oh yeah, Create with Karen. So this is for making some Halloween, lighted Halloween decor for yourself or someone special. So this is a crafting program. If anybody is a crafter, I am a crafter. But if you want to come and join in, it's nice to have a different project. I like to do things at home when I have time. So this would be something I would probably want to sign up for, because it looks nice. It looks like they're making stuff that you can put some mini lights in, and it'd be a cute little Halloween decoration. We try to do seasonal things, obviously. So we line up along with our regular classes. We have stuff for the season. Yep.
Well, that's good. How about I see rock painting with Eileen.
Just a fun, relaxing craft, no charge.
Bring your own rock.
Right, and it tells you like sometimes you want to sign up for things early, because sometimes there's a limit to how big this class is, limited to 12. So when you see the things come out, you want to try to sign up if you're really interested. Sometimes things get overbooked. So this is something doesn't require any skill. It's just something that's fun, relaxing. And a lot of times you see people do I know I go down by the beach and there's like a little rock garden down there, and it has all positive messages written on it. And so a lot of times people will put rocks that they've painted on or something. They'll leave their little mark along a trail somewhere and just have their rock, or you put it in your garden. So just something fun.
Very nice. I want to become a safer driver with the AAA AARP Smart Driver course. What's the story with
that? So it's teaching valuable defensive driving skills, and it provides a refresher for rules of the road. For some people, for AARP, of course, for retired people, they're always looking to promote all kinds of health and safety things for seniors. So for retired people, it's help proven. They learn proven safety strategies and tips for how to adapt one's driving to compensate for physical and cognitive changes that come with aging. So as you know, you have to be aware of as you age, what kind of limitations maybe you do have. Sometimes you may not want to drive certain places, certain times of the day, especially if you feel that, I know sometimes if your vision is impaired, you may not be driving at night. If I know somebody in my family doesn't qualify for a nighttime driving. So you have to be aware of and follow what is working for you. A lot of people don't want to navigate, say, the expressway going into Boston. So I think it's really knowing yourself and be a safe driver.
How about navigating Stoughton Square?
I was going to say that can be just as bad. Yes. So, I mean, it's just being aware. Like if you're traveling during the school days when the school buses are out, that can be challenging too. I know driving up Route 27 in the morning, you can get sun blindness. Like sometimes I know somebody in my family was like, I am not going to go that direction that time of day, because honestly, it's a lot. And if you have kids going to school and stuff with the school buses stopping. So I guess it's just being aware, and they teach you some tips and some skills.
Well, speaking of transportation, you have a tremendous service there with the buses.
Transportation.
They're able to be picked up and delivered to certain locations, doctor's appointments or whatever. How does that work?
So transportation, I have to say, is probably I would say it is the most important service that we have here at the Stoughton Council on Aging. For many of you that are familiar with the Council on Aging, you may have known Robin Cardoza. She was here for over 30 years and she ran the transportation program. She just retired. And now Becky McCabe has taken over sort of the responsibility of dispatch. But the reason I say it's the most important is that even if nothing else is going on here, you can cancel a class, an exercise class, but we really don't want to cancel, or we really know how dependent people are upon that transportation if they have a lot of medical appointments. So we want to get people to and from their doctor's appointments on time, safely. If they require a wheelchair, we have it marked down that they may need assistance with the wheelchair. So that even if, like say during the pandemic, when our building was shut down for activities, we still transported people to, if there were some appointments, we know a lot of those were now virtual medical appointments. But if somebody had an appointment or somebody needed a food delivery or they needed food pantry assistance, transportation always is the thing that we need to make sure is a top priority.
How about weekly trips to the supermarket? Is that possible?
Yes. So we do weekly trips to the supermarket. So people call, they make appointments, they call in. We suggest that you call enough in advance just to make sure we have 3 full-time drivers. Up until last year, we only had 2 full-time drivers and some part-time drivers. It got so busy, we had to put on a 3rd full-time driver. So that's worked out really well. And what we did is we've been able to extend one of those drivers so that the last return trip home from a doctor's appointment is to be home by 3:00. So it used to be that it was hard to get, we have to have people all back to their houses by a certain time because their workday starts very early. The drivers start at 7. So we have one driver starting a little later so that he can do some of the return trips if somebody needs to be at the doctor's just a little bit later. So that's been really helpful. But we want people to call, and if it's and you tell us your destination. So we do Stoughton and neighboring bordering towns. So if somebody is going to go grocery shopping, or they need a trip to the bank to do some banking, or any of their errands that are really important, if
they have doctor's appointments in Boston, is that beyond the limits?
Yes, unfortunately, that is a problem for a lot of seniors. Is the doctors in Boston? That's tough.
How do they handle them?
Well, most people do find a family person or a friend. Other than that, you can sometimes, if you qualify, you'd have to get down to Cobb's Corner, which we could take you there, but then you'd have to get the ride. Or some people might have some kind of other medical transportation service. It is a problem. I'm not going to say it isn't, especially if people don't have family to assist.
Right. Okay. It's I've had exposure I've been exposed to 3 of the drivers. They're very professional.
Yes. Yeah.
Very giving, very courteous, very, very helpful. And if that falls under your umbrella, you should be congratulated for having.
Well, thank you. I was in on all 3 interviews with all 3 of those drivers. So we have Dawn, and all of them are Stoughton residents, by the way, which is really nice too. So we have Dawn, Tom, and Tim. So those are our drivers.
Right. Let's get on to, I noticed a new flyer when I was at the council building the other day about the Red Cross Presents American Red Cross Be Ready. What's that about? You know?
Okay, so this is a 45-minute presentation. It'll include life-saving preparedness tips for home fires and other natural disasters. So it's like an emergency preparedness talk, giving tips and tools for your household to be Red Cross ready in the event of an emergency. And registration for smoke alarm installations. So if somebody does not have a smoke detector, I know our fire department will put them in, so we'll register people if they need help getting smoke detectors. So it's really a safety.
Are they available for free?
I believe so.
Okay. Now, if somebody wants to take part, this one is on Wednesday, October 25th. I'm sure that we'll be broadcasting prior to that.
Right.
Council building at 12:30 p.m.
Yep. So I guess just call. It doesn't say. I'm sure. I don't know how many, but I'm sure it will be well attended. But I don't think it's a limit as long as it's just within the average limit of the COA capacity.
Okay. Next item I wanted you to talk about is Gary Highlander.
Oh, yeah. Gary has been doing a lot of great talks. He's like a historian. He's a lecturer. He gives really great, he does a lot with like different historical events. So lecturer Gary Highlander will be at the Stoughton Senior Center to deliver the presentation, A Pilgrim Thanksgiving. Gary will discuss the real story of the first Thanksgiving and separate fact from fiction, because I think sometimes, we all have the picture of what the first Thanksgiving was like, but I guess Gary knows a lot more details about what it really was like.
He's got a lot of knowledge. He's been on Stoughton Cable for quite a few years, and he still is. He was on with Dick Murphy over the years, and most recently he's on by himself. Very knowledgeable.
Yeah, no, people love his lectures. They're very informative and very interesting. He's easy to listen to, and he's got a great presentation.
Okay, now moving on. Learn how to use your iPhone and iPad.
Yes, so we've had students, a lot of times it's the younger generation that really knows how to maneuver around a computer. I know in my house, that's the way it's always been. If I get stuck on something, I have to ask the younger generation. So if you have an iPad or an iPhone, they can help you set it up. They can teach you. For a lot of people, it's hard to transition to some of these devices. Because again, our brain, as you get older, isn't quite wired as to take on some of the new technology. Although, I think it can be a fallacy that older people can't do it. So I think that a lot of people are very tech savvy as they get older. But for people wanting to learn, if they haven't been used to using a computer, we have people here to help them.
Okay, let's get on to the next page. Ongoing programs.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Alzheimer's, dementia, caregiver support.
Yes. So this, of course, with Alzheimer and dementia, it's such a tough illness and tough on families. So it's caregiver support, and I think it's I believe this is a free event, and it's the person that's presenting is Brittany Ricketts, and she comes from what used to be the Arbors, and they have a dementia unit. The Arbors Assisted Living is now Brook Meadows at Blue Hills, and that's right off Route 27, going towards Canton.
Right.
So they do have a floor for dementia inside the assisted living. So it's just the caregiver support is so huge for people that have a loved one at home or in a facility. It's just such a tough illness. So it's great that we're having that.
That's good. What's the bananagrams? What are those?
I got to be honest, it's some kind of game I've never played. I'm not sure.
We'll have to check.
I don't know. I haven't witnessed that one yet. I know it's been going on a long time.
bereavement support
game.
group.
Bereavement support group. I do want to talk a little bit about that. This has become very well attended. It's the person that runs the bereavement support group is Teresa Tapper. She's one of our counselors. She's a social worker, and she does counseling. She's a licensed counselor, and she normally sees children. She's a youth counselor. I don't know if people know it, but our building in the evening or after school hours holds the Stoughton Youth Commission, and they do free counseling for kids and their families at night. So Teresa has been running this group, and people are finding it extremely helpful. Anybody can attend that's has been through a loss. There's no time frame that you have to only come for so many sessions. People sometimes step out of it for a while, and then they may come back, because as we know, there's no set time if you've experienced a loss. And sometimes it might seem like you're feeling better, but it doesn't ever really go away. So a bereavement group is where you can get some support. There are other people there, and maybe you will step out for a while, and then maybe something will trigger those feelings, and you may want to come back in again. So Teresa does an excellent job, and people are really finding some comfort with that group.
Yeah, she's a real good people person.
She is.
Okay, we got bingo on Tuesdays.
Bingo. I think bingo is like, bingo has got a history. Bingo is like I guess next to transportation, I'd have to say bingo is the thing you don't want to touch, because people love bingo.
Oh, yeah. And this one, the prizes, I understand, are money prizes.
You know, you might know more about that, Roy. I know now the bingo has been Betty, I'm trying to remember her last name, and her husband are now running bingo. I say it slips my mind, but her last name, and she's doing a great job with it. We just were given a new bingo equipment that from the synagogue, the temple just gave us their old bingo equipment. So it's supposed to be a little bit more advanced than what we had. So everyone's excited about that.
Yeah, the temple, for some reason, decided they weren't going to have the bingo anymore.
Oh.
Which I feel very bad about, because I was involved at the beginning with it as a caller. All right, we have a blood pressure clinic.
No, it was just here. Our nurses from the Stoughton VNA, which I'm very familiar with, as you know, working there for 34 years. We've been doing clinics here from the very first time I started. We were doing clinics. So it's nice. People that are coming here, either sometimes they just come for the clinic, or maybe they're here for other events, and they go in and get their blood pressure checked. Of course, I just do want to remind people that if you ever need your blood pressure checked and you can't make that clinic, usually the VNA on Thursday, they're open till 7 over at the town hall. There's somebody there that will check your blood pressure. If you call ahead of time, make sure there's a nurse there at the town hall.
Okay, let's briefly touch on some of these other ones. You have so much here, I'm not sure we have enough time to cover them all. Coloring.
Oh, yeah, people just come in. It's very relaxing. They come in the library. There's coloring books. You can bring your own. It's a social thing. People sit down at a table. I know during the pandemic, I picked up some coloring books. There wasn't a lot of things you could do. Except I was busy at the public health office, but coloring is a great stress reliever. It's just relaxing. So people come, they're able to talk to each other. And again, no skill required. It kind of brings you back to when you were a kid and loved coloring. So
stay within the lines.
Stay within the lines, and if you feel like making your own lines, go ahead.
I don't feel like making my own. Exercise program. You have a variety of exercise for all levels.
Yes. So we have, of course, on the exercise on the other side, we have Tai Chi, which is unbelievably awesome with Vince Journals. He does it's really great for balance. That's very popular. He's so, I have to say, our instructors are so knowledgeable and such good instructors. It's low impact that promotes decreased stress and better health. So Tai Chi is great. And all of these things, when you move your body as you get older, like with Tai Chi or any of the fitness things, it really helps you balance and it helps prevent falls. And it's just, and for all levels, we do some things in the chair. So if you aren't somebody that can stand and do some of those things, we have some chair exercises. It's just good to keep your body moving. So we have Forever Young and Fit.
Got to keep the juices flowing.
Right. Forever Young and Fit focuses on strength training, flexibility, cardiovascular endurance, and balance. Chairs will be used at times. Moving and Grooving, that's a little more active. That's a little more like dance. Gentle Yoga with Judith Potts, that's really good. That's very gentle, stretching, gentle yoga. A real popular one, and you maybe have seen him on Smack, is Steve Avellino. He does posture and balance with Steve Avellino, increasing blood flow. And I've seen some of his classes, and people rave about them. They're really good. He really increases people's natural ability to move and just your flexibility. Then there's the walking club for people that just want to do a walk down Low Ave, meet at the cul-de-sac at Low Ave. They do about 1.5 miles Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 a.m. Then we have Zumba. That was first and third Thursday at 5. I think Ruth, Carmel, and Bice. I don't know if anybody knows Ruth, but she's awesome. I think she may be retiring from this, so I'm not sure who's going to be taking that over. I think I heard she was retiring. And then men's fitness instructor for seniors. Oh, we're looking for a men's fitness instructor. Is needed to teach at the Stoughton Council on Aging. So if anyone knows of a men's fitness instructor that's interested, just call us and we'll set up an interview or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of fitness things going on.
Back to the Alzheimer's and dementia caregiver support group.
Yeah, very important. Third Monday of the month at the Stoughton COA. This was a partnership with Stoughton Council on Aging in Brittany, as we had talked about. And then again, the bereavement group. A paint night with, on November 9th, we're painting with Karen Kelly. So to paint a beautiful autumn tree. So that's at 5:00. It's $18 on November 9th. So a lot of people like to take paint classes. Again, very relaxing, get your creative side going. So it's just nice for people that have that artistic inclination or just to come and socialize. So that'll be fun. And that's later in the day on a Thursday. So that's good for people like that want to come after work or something like that. Because I don't think we touched on the fact that we're open till 7:00 on Thursdays, just like the town hall. So we do like to have some classes that are a little later in the day for people that might, be working and want to come after work. So sometimes we'll have a fitness class, or we'll do some type of arts and crafts thing or something like that, or a lecture series. So that's that should be fun.
Is all of this information readily accessible online?
Yes. So if you go online and look for the Stoughton Council on Aging, we have a new website in town, and it's a little different. But you want to get to the Stoughton Council on Aging, I think you have to go under you'll see Human Services if you're looking for the department. So I know it just changed the format, and a lot of people saying they're having a hard time finding the departments because it used to just be listed, but now it was under Human Services. And if you click on that, it gives you all information of times available. You should be able to have a link to the newsletter. People can just stop by anytime and pick up. We have newsletters here. If anyone wants to just swing by the building and get a paper copy of the newsletter. It's very informative. So people, when they stop in, usually do take a newsletter.
Well, they should. That's where all the information is.
Yeah. So along with the programs that we're doing in the COA building, of course, we have the trips, which people sign up for, and we have everybody was waiting for the trips to come back because during the pandemic, of course, we weren't doing bus trips, and then probably within this past like 6 to 9 months, maybe about 9 months, we really started getting busy with the trips again. So we have All Aboard with Annie, which are the big bus trips that are hired out by a company. And then, of course, over the summer, we had our van that was taking people smaller bus trips to, like, they were doing weekly Castle Island trips. So it's for people looking to venture out and do some more things. The bus trips usually, I know we were supposed to have one to Foxwoods. I think that canceled because the bus company said there wasn't enough people that signed up, so they weren't going to do it. So it's good to know what's coming up and pick what you want to go to, because sometimes we end up with a wait list. Because sometimes there's a trip that's so popular that, we don't want people to miss out on something they really want to do. So we have let's see what bus trips we have. I know we have a holiday mansion, Annie's Trip Newport Mansion Holiday Tour, Monday, December 4th.
What does that include?
There's another trip. So that's $115. I'm thinking that may include a lunch. It doesn't say here what that is. And then there's a trip, and that I don't know how many mansions they do, but probably they're all decorated beautifully for the holidays. So that'll be fun to go to Newport. And then Annie's Trip to the Boston Pops, Thursday, December 14th. So there's different ones coming up. It's good to keep track.
I think that those 2 trips need to have a little more detail put in.
I think there is detail, and I'm probably not seeing it in this. I know I could run out in the hallway and get it. All the flyers are out there, but I don't want to leave you, Roy. I'm not going to run out there and find it. But
don't leave me.
I'm not going to leave you. But there is flyers out there so people can get more details on it. I'm looking to see if here it is. All right. Let me tell you a little bit about it, because I just found it in the newsletter. So Monday, December 4th, the Newport Mansions Holiday. Discover the elegance of a bygone age, 3 centuries of American history, architecture, and decorative arts. Take a journey back in time as you visit the summer homes of the Gilded Age. You'll visit 2 mansions, the Breakers and the Elms, both decked out for the holidays. A delicious lunch will be served either before or after the home tours at Quonset O Club. This trip includes round-trip motor coach transportation and entrance fees for the 2 mansions. And then it describes what you can get for lunch, either baked scrod or chicken cutlet served with a salad and a vegetable and dessert. So that's a good one. And then the Pops, the Holiday Pops, can join conductor Keith Lockhart and the Boston Pops in a performance filled with holiday music favorites. So if anyone's been to the Pops before, that's always very festive, and tells a little bit about the Pops. Your day to Symphony Hall includes a round-trip motor coach transportation, buffet lunch at the famous Mount Vernon, and a 3 p.m. holiday concert with the Boston Pops, first balcony center seats.
Sounds good.
Yeah. It's either Keith Lockhart or a guest conductor. I guess they didn't want to hold Keith to it. So anyway, that should be good. And then
I'm just having a thought, and I'm going to plant a seed in your mind. Is it possible to solicit members who might be interested in forming a musical group?
Well, why not? I think that would be awesome. We did have Were you here the other day when there was the singing grandpops?
I was there, but I didn't see them.
I just caught the tail end of it, and everybody loved it. That came with a lunch and listening to this group. They were fabulous. Everybody was said that was one of the best events they had attended. So that was really exciting. But I think there was a choral group in Stoughton, isn't there? Isn't there a group in Stoughton?
You got me on that. I don't know. I'm sure somebody will tell us.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Somebody will see this and say, yes, we have a choral group in Stoughton. I think there is one.
Old Stoughton Musical Society or something like that.
I think so, yes. Yeah. So we're all, something we're always looking. I just was out at the front desk and people were asking about if there's a popular program, and sometimes, like, say it changes instructors or something happens and there's like a little break in the people want it to come back. Somebody just asked about the chair massage, the therapist that was doing chair massages. So she's like, let me know when she comes back. So people love when they find something they love, they let us know so that we can try to get it back for another session. The other thing,
I'd like us to move ahead to Shine.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So Shine stands for Serving Health
Insurance needs
for everyone. So this was always a volunteer position. And a few years ago, we had who's currently one of our Council on Aging board members was doing this. She had these kind of skills, so she took it on, but it was volunteer. It's a lot of work. So we were having a tough time getting a volunteer to do it. So if anybody is familiar with Annie, who does the trips to All Aboard with Annie, she was very interested in learning about it. So she went last May and got certified in Shine. So now we have our very own Shine person on staff. And it's, like she said, there's a lot more to it than she had imagined. She's on constant, like every couple of weeks, they're updating. So they're always doing Zoom meetings to educate the Shine counselors on what they need to know. Because as insurances change, they have to be updated on any of the changes that occur. So if somebody, especially during open enrollment, which is starting, I think it's just starting this week. Open enrollment is a time when you're on Medicare, you can pick other supplemental insurances. People get very confused about what's required, what's the best plan for them. So a Shine counselor would meet with somebody. Maybe they need help filling out an application. You would tell them their options, what might be the best, depending on the insurance that they have or right now, whatever. They go over all the requirements for what might be good. Everyone comes with their individual personal situation. Like some people are just retiring and they're just switching over insurances, or they just went on Medicare, and it gets very confusing. And Annie is great. Like, she will be the first one to say it's taking her a little more time because she wants to make sure she's doing it right. She is receiving guidance from the Shine office in Middleborough. And there's such a demand that if you call to get some Shine assistance, you may get referred to Middleborough because it's just, she could be busy doing this during this open enrollment. It's very demanding, and there's so much to it. So we're doing the best we can of handling different people's questions. We also have outreach workers here that can help with some of those questions. We have 2 outreach workers that can help with some of basic people that call with questions about especially filling out applications. So Linda Rodriguez is Portuguese speaking. So a lot of our Portuguese residents come to see Linda because she can help decipher some of the the paperwork and help them fill out forms. And then Amy Russell's been here quite a few years, and she's also our other outreach worker that, people in town that have may have certain needs. People call asking about fuel assistance, or especially right now with the prices of fuel and heating costs going up with different things. She can help them fill out forms or send them to self-help over in Brockton that can help with some of those things.
Okay. I noticed we didn't talk about Foxwoods.
Oh, yeah. Foxwoods, that did not get as many people as we had hoped. We
Really?
we were surprised. So the bus company, if they don't have enough interest, the bus company, because it's an outside bus, a tour bus, they didn't have enough people.
You don't use the council buses?
Not for that. That's like we use the tour bus. I'm trying to remember the name of the company. So they will
BRS.
Yeah, BRS. They will do the
whoever they are.
Yeah, they will do the bigger trips.
Okay. Listen, with the one thing we didn't touch that I was hoping you'd be able to give a brief thing on in the last 5 minutes is the Youth Commission. What do they do?
Oh, the Youth Commission, yes. So the Youth Commission has been here in town. Oh boy, I want to say maybe as long as I've worked in town. They were located in a different building at one point. So a few years ago, the Youth Commission was placed into this building for counseling because, most of the seniors are done with their programs by the afternoon. And then in the evening is when you're seeing kids counseled after school. So we have a couple of counselors that stay until about 7:00 at night, even though our building is only open to the public on Thursdays till 7, but the kids that have appointments here. So it's a free service, which is unbelievable, especially today with so many kids having needs with that need to see a counselor. So if a parent doesn't have insurance or if there's any problems, you have free counseling here by licensed therapists, clinicians, and it's really a great service for people who may need their kids to receive some counseling. So they have once in a while we get a wait list, but not usually. We try to keep up. And we also have some interns that help, that are master's level interns with Bridgewater State that are going for social work and counseling that help out. So that's really a great program for Stoughton. And a few years ago, the town manager prior to this one had put the Youth Commission to be all part of Human Services under Youth Services, which is part of Youth and Rec. So we all kind of work together with the Human Services Department. And I work with Matt Cauchon over at the Rec Services. And I attend the Stoughton Youth Commission board meetings as a Human Services person.
Do kids have activities available?
Well, what we found is now that they're in with the youth services, it's very integrated. So some of the this is more for the counseling, but we let them know what's available over at the rec department because there's a whole host of things that are available to kids and families over there. So they usually will attend some of the programming through the rec department.
Okay. I think we've covered it all. I certainly appreciate your time, and your semi-retirement should be nice and smooth.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. You've earned it after 34 years.
And I'm kind of, it's kind of nice. I feel like I still feel connected still very much to the Human Services Department, but I am learning a lot over here. I was already doing it for a couple of years under Human Services, being involved. But now that I'm here on site 2 days a week, I'm getting much more familiar with some of the needs and the programs that we do offer. So it's a great opportunity. And
what you're doing is very important.
thank you, Roy. And we're always glad to see you. We're glad to see you when you come through the door. So
Yeah, well, that's something I'm enjoying. Wednesdays seem to happen pretty quick.
yeah.
What I have to do is I have to start learning how to win. That's I have some.
Let us know the secret when you figure it out.
I have some seasoned ladies that I play with. They're good and they're killers.
Good. Good. Keep you on your toes.
Yeah, they do for sure. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and thanks to your staff for helping get this program underway. I apologize for what happened there at the 34-minute point, but
well,
things happen.
That's what happens when you're dealing with computers.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back in for a refresher course. Janiece, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay,
If anyone has any questions, give us a call.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.